Cd12 Life Coaching with Airatu. The Sacred Council, 12 out of 32. The Guiding Force of Airatu. Airatu, the guiding force of gases and the energy of air. Learn to embrace and love it all. I am Airatu, the keeper of the fourth dimension, representing the energy of air, which is the pulse or heartbeat inside everything. Everything has a kind of heartbeat or breathes through the contracting and expanding forces of the universe, even a rock. I am the love and beauty within all, and called the keeper of worldly love and beauty. You know me on earth as the energy of air. I represent the air, and the jungles, the forests, and the trees producing oxygen. And inside your body, at the heart chest center, I am directly connected to your lungs, heart, and circulation. I am giving you the endurance in your adventures, and you can express through my energy what you love and desire or not. Quote, "Consider it all joy, my brethren, when you encounter various trials, knowing that the testing of your faith produces endurance. And let endurance have its perfect result, that you may perfect and complete, lacking in nothing." James 1:2-4. End of quote. I am, however, like you and anything else in creation, a creation of opposites. When you fail to tune into my positive side, you can easily wear yourself out, run out of oxygen, lose heart, getting too attached to people and things, and even ending up hating them. Quote, "Wherever there is attachment, association with it brings endless misery." Guampopa. End of quote. So, I am the keeper of endurance, worldly love, and beauty. Through my energy your heart beats, and through which you also love the things in creation, and through which you keep searching for that ultimate love in creation. Quote, "Faith is an oasis in the heart which can never be reached by the caravan of thinking." Kahlil Gibran. I am just like you and anything else in creation, a creation of opposite. So when you fail to tune in to this positive side and let Kalimobanko, your mind, play with you, you can easily wear yourself out, run out of oxygen, lose heart, getting too attached to things and other people. When you give completely over to the negative side, you end up in experiencing hate and trying to find that deep love you still have deep inside of you, being a crystal child of light in the material things and beings in Crystallia, the creation. By doing so, instead of searching for that real everlasting love inside of you, you get attached to the mortal and impermanent. Once you are attached to the things of Crystallia, it is impossible to detach yourself, and only by attaching yourself to Kando it will be possible to detach yourself. The mind needs to get attached to something real. Quote, "Only attachment can create detachment. Detachment never creates attachment in anybody." Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji. End of quote. I am subject to Kalimobanko, the one with the many faces, and through your conditioned mind, you keep yourself busy with loving, liking, disliking, and hating the endless toys in creating and attaching yourself to them. This is my job, offering you the two sides within you. So, to sum it all up, guiding you regarding matters of unconditional loving or disliking and hating, embracing it all or rejecting things, situations, and people, enduring or quitting, having the endurance or giving up, continuation or discontinuation and being stationary, inhaling or holding off, exhaling or holding in, receiving or rejecting, giving or withholding. Letting everything circulate or getting stuck in not letting things circulate. Being in touch or getting out of touch. Trusting or not accepting the duality in every gift and experience. Experiencing the beauties of the world or getting attached. Giving directions to your thoughts or not giving proper directions. Detachments or attachments. Sharing or taking. Affectionate and caring or hardening. Airatu. Knowing me and knowing what to do with me. Let's see how you unnecessarily struggle with my force in various aspects of your life. How you could change your perspective and even make some practical changes. There are endless words that can be connected to any subject, and any subject can have many books because each subject can be approached from various perspectives or angles. Most important is not to forget that all that is said or written is merely an opinion, a truth, and not the truth, because the spoken and written word is part of the creative world, created in opposites, constantly changing and bound to time, and there is always more than can be said or written about any subject. Regarding me and the Sacred Council members, talking about any subject, know that this understanding applies to that information as well. The information is from our particular point of view and brought to you through the world of visionary and mystical fiction. But hopefully it contributes to your life and assists you to experience life in a more conscious, mystical and magical way. By hearing or reading this information, you will come to the conclusion that you know this already, and you do, because this is part of your universal and spiritual inheritance. And often, we just need one word or a sentence that inspires and motivates to do things different, or to think about a certain subject from a different perspective. Dealing with your real self, the soul. In regards to spiritual living, know that you will have to embrace everything and everybody equally. It is stepping into your unconditional love, which loves for the sake of loving, and without any expectation or reward in mind. This love, which comes from the essence of your soul, will give you the endurance to go through the challenges of life. From the level of your spirit, you are in touch with everything and everybody, for all is of the same essence. Be patient and let the breath of life breathe through your breathing, your entire being. Be careful to what you love and get attached to. Quote, "What is the value of loving that which must perish?" Maharaj Sawan Singh. End of quote. Stay attached to that spirit within you through your spiritual practice, and all worldly attachments will fade in time. Dealing with your mind. In regards to managing and dealing with the mind, know that a mind driven by the sense organs does not love unconditionally, but is set in what it likes, dislikes, loves, and even hates. A mind driven by the sense organs looks at life as something hard, lives a hard life, and takes things too hard at heart. The mind makes you forget that you are souls and that you live in the world of desires. A mind driven by the sense organs gives directions to the thoughts and visions and gets obsessed with the outcome. A mind driven by the sense organs loses its ability to embrace all the adventures and is picky of what it wants to let come in and not. A mind driven by the sense organs loses the endurance to go through situations it has to go through anyway, and also loses the stamina to accomplish long-term projects, or goes so intense that it runs itself completely out of air. Deep inside of you, know that the life in creation is just a momentary adventure, like being on stage as an actor. So love unconditionally your script and all its roles. Embrace every experience, inhale, Let them circulate with ease and exhale them again. Quote, "Because of ego, we identify with me and mind, while if we were aware of the reality, we would understand that all belongs to the Lord. He has given us life in the creation for a short period of time. Our attachment to it blinds us to the fact of our transcendence." Merriam-Webster-Caravella. Dealing with your body. In regards to dealing with your physical body, know that it is a composition of all material substances, but the air substance reveals itself predominantly as your circulatory and respiratory system. When you want to do too much, you will run out of air, and when you are too hard on yourself, others and the world, you will affect your heart and circulation. You come into this world with an exhale, and after the last one you will depart. During your life you have difficulty with breathing in certain things, and other things you tend to hold on to, which all restricts your breathing. Look at your posture and make sure to embrace and love it all, for when you do not do this, you will not be able to endure the challenges that you will have to deal with anyway. Quote, "Energy is the essence of life. Every day you decide how you're going to use it by knowing what you want and what it takes to reach that goal, and by maintaining focus." Oprah Winfrey. End of quote. Dealing with communication. In regards to communication, let love come through your words. Be patient to get your message across, but also be patient when others try to convert something to you. Keep breathing and exhale when you hear challenging things. Embrace all what is said as a truth and not the truth. Quote, "With love and humility, forget each other's apparent mistakes or faults, and make due allowance for differences of opinion." Maharaj Sawan Singh. End of quote. Be in touch with the words you say, and do not let them run out without having touched base with them first. Dealing with food. In regards to dealing with nutrition, know the existence of air energy foods that grow all in the trees, the fruits and the nuts, and who are excellent to consume in the morning, especially in juice format. It is the trees and all that grows in them that gets woken up in the morning by the sun, and it is at that same time you wake up. These foods are easy to digest, do not cost a lot of energy, bring fast energy, and stimulate the elimination system. Your heart is connected to the energy of air, located in the chest area, which is in the physical world, and is torn between what it likes and loves and what it dislikes and even hates. Both create attachment, by the way. Most foods you like or dislike are a result of your upbringing and thus conditioned, and you are attached to them. Open your heart and be open for new tastes. And no need to love one and dislike or even hate the other. Just learn to like and love it all, which aligns with unconditional love. Oxygen is another important factor and connected to your chest area in which your lungs are located. And it is oxygen that is the most important physical fuel, because without it for a minute or so, you die. You could do for months without food, weeks without water, but just a minute or so without oxygen. Know that incorrect eating costs a lot of oxygen, because fire, which is the motion and digestion of life, is only able to do its job when there is oxygen. Food brings life, energy and oxygen to your body, but when the foods are heated and processed, little is left, and basically we steal our own oxygen away from ourselves, resulting in a row of endless dilemmas. Oxygen, which we in addition receive through breathing, needs to be in your food and especially your drinking water, so make a study of your drinking water and how to get more oxygen in it. And then the food, green leafy vegetables, and think about kelp and algae in green powder format, coming from the oceans and lakes. They are as well an excellent source of food rich in oxygen. You all need oxygen. You need all the oxygen you can get, which needs to circulate through your blood and feeding every cell of your body, and offering you the capacity of endurance. And we need all the endurance we can get in order to go with courage through the adventure of life. Quote, "It is easy to hate and it's difficult to love. This is how the whole scheme of things work. All good things are difficult to achieve and bad things are very easy to get." René Descartes. End of quote. Dealing with staying fit. In regards to fitness, choose exercises that enhance the endurance capacity, circulation and breathing. Training physical endurance will help you to endure other things in your adventure. Quote, "The men who learn endurance are they who call the whole world brother." Charles Dickens. End of quote. When you go to the gym, where there are several cardio stations, change every 5 or 10 minutes to do another. The workout is less boring and you exercise more muscles. Is this not what a child would choose to do? Buy a rebound or mini trampoline and while holding your hands on the handle or on the door or wall, bounce for at least 12 minutes. Create different feet positions and move your arms and hands and shoulders. When you have a pool, swim or keep moving in the pool. Have fun. Dealing with your life partner. In regards to your relationship, realize that a relationship is all about endurance and enduring each other, which is only possible when we constantly give love in an unconditional way. Quote, "It is never crowded along the extra mile." Wayne Dyer. End of quote. It is about inhaling and exhaling, receiving and giving, and embracing it all, for when you don't, your lungs and heart will suffer. It is about trusting that life will work itself out as it is written, and not to fall into the trap of wanting only one side of this experience. Know that every gift in life is two-sided, and when you accept this adventure, your trust and heart will never be broken. Enjoy the relationship and each other. Do not fall into attachment, because you came and will depart alone again. Dealing with children. In regards to parenting, know how to love yourself even before loving your children. Otherwise, you become dependent on loving your children, and you become dependent on the love your children give to you. Depend on your own love, and being around children, they will constantly remind you about this. Quote, "The law of love could be best understood and learned through little children." Mahatma Gandhi. End of quote. Love and embrace them for who they are, for they will be different than you, because you are not here to create robots. Embrace them for what and who they are. Be careful not to become too hard on them, for it will break their heart, and you might suffer from the heart as well. Your kids require you most of all to love them for who they are, not to spend your whole time trying to correct them. Bill Ayers. End of quote. Don't get too attached to your children, for it will take from their space, and it will take their breath away. Guiding and giving them some directions, caring and loving them, but not from your possessive point of view, are a great inheritance you can give them right now. Learn from your children who have the endurance to keep on going, and be aware that when you don't want them to keep on moving, that they possibly might get sick. Let your children play more. Too many hours sitting is a danger. Realize that the body is designed to keep on moving till the last minute before departing this adventure. Quote, unconditional parenting, moving from rewards and punishments to love and reason. Alfie Kohn. End of quote. Make them aware of trust, which is trusting that all things in creation come with an opposite. Everything is a two-sided experience, like loving your toys, but they can break, or you can lose them. It is making them aware that loving your father and mother also has two sides of them, or two faces, so to speak. You as parents can be patient and impatient, soft and hard, and go on. Prepare them that everything in life comes in a package of two, and hopefully their trust doesn't have to get broken. Dealing with preserving the planet. In regards to taking care of the planet Earth, assist to reduce air pollution in every way possible. Walk more and use the bike instead of driving the car. Avoid using toxic paints, artificial materials giving off toxic fumes and aerosols. Reduce the amount of engine-driven machines around you producing pollution. Stay aware that you are contributing in love to everything and everybody, or you're taking from that love and possibly destroying it. Nature gives with love to everyone. Quote, may my soul bloom in love for all existence. Rudolf Steiner. End of quote. Dealing with the teenage years. In regards to the teenage years, realize that parents and teenagers both want to be loved, but do not love and care about themselves. You want to love, but are confused with the issue love. You are confused with trust issues. Nobody told you about the beauty and the beast in all. You rather show the fist than to embrace and welcome all. You are hard on yourself and others. Be careful to hurt your heart and that of others. You probably don't want to be touched by those nearest to you, but realize that you are out of touch with a lot of things. Find ways to open your heart and strengthen your endurance, for the teenage years are 7 years. Be thankful to be together and learn to love unconditionally, and when not, you will keep on running in love-hate relationships over and over again. Quote, a family is a place where minds come in contact with one another. If these minds love one another, the home will be as beautiful as a flower garden. But if these minds get out of harmony with one another, it is like a storm that plays havoc. Buddha. End of quote. Dealing with getting older. In regards to dealing with getting older, know that the older you become, the more evidence you have that you have endured situations in life, and can be of a guide for the youngsters who tend to give up too soon. Getting older is an opportunity to become more loving and caring in all your actions, as you have learned that all is a beautiful but momentary gift. Quote, attachment to the body ends in pain, because the body is changeable and perishable. Mental attachments fare no better either. Man is endowed with the power of detaching himself from body and mind, hence, it is incumbent upon him to develop this power and be free from the ills of body and mind. The easiest way to do this is to associate himself with something which is beyond the body and mind, and that is the sound current. Maharaj Sawan Singh. End of quote. The older you become, the more you have experienced that attaching yourself to anything is a foolish game in the world of change, where things and people come and go. You realize that love from your heart is limited, and you seek to get closer to God, whose love is unlimited. Let's stay an active part in the world and keep on circulating, going. Maturing is a present that, just like anything else, needs to be embraced. Dealing with stress. In regards to dealing with stress, be careful not to drive your body like a race car and run yourself out of air. Cross off as many possible things on your endless list of wanting. Quote, "Desires are the cause of suffering, and he alone is poor who has unfulfilled desires. He who is free from desires is richest." Maharaj Sawan Singh. End of quote. Watch out for going too long with any activity, as it may take your breath away. Avoid smoking and going to areas where lots of people smoke, and walk and bike more in order to reduce the pollution of the air with your car. Avoid being hard on yourself and others, as it might cause problems to your own heart and circulation. Go in the fresh air and walk in the forest as often as you can. Quote, "Who will tell whether one happy moment of love or the joy of breathing or walking on a bright morning and smelling the fresh air is not worth all the suffering and effort which life implies." Eric Fromm. End of quote. Reduce the amount of toxic fumes coming from paints and artificial materials and fabrics. Open the windows for fresh air. And when you use AC, clean the filters regularly and spray some eucalyptus in the return unit. Approach everything in a caring and loving way. Embrace it all. In and exhale everything in the adventure. Dealing with weight. In regards to dealing with weight, realize that weight is connected to matters of self-esteem, trust and love issues. And as long as these things are obstacles, you will not be circulating well, lacking endurance and being hard on yourself. The antidotes are loving and embracing who you are today, and then with love working to make some changes. Quote, "Sorrow and silence are strong, and patience, endurance is godlike." Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. End of quote. By loving and caring in connection to yourself and the world, be loving in your ways of communication. Give your body fast, rich energy food and go on a fast, but not with the intention to starve yourself, but to clean and make room for something new. Participate in endurance aerobic exercise activities, assist in the burning of the old waste, and train your endurance capacity to keep going. Quote, "One should act in consonance with the way of heaven and earth, which is enduring and eternal. The superior man perseveres long in his course, adapts to the times, but remains firm in his direction and correct in his goals." The I Ching. End of quote. Be attached to your soul, which would like to endure and go through this life adventure in a healthy and fit body. Change your eating patterns in order for your body not to get attached to them. Losing weight is about change and letting go. Get out of the habit of holding on to too much and get in the habit of giving with love without having any reward in mind. Love is about serving and giving. Dealing with disease. In regards to dealing with disease, know that when you are confronted with signs, symptoms and/or disease patterns, do not lose heart or getting too hard on yourself, but rather come from love of the heart and start taking better care of yourself. Quote, "The most important thing in illness is never to lose heart." Nikolai Linen. End of quote. Let's realize that when you do not embrace the situation, you reject your cell children who ask for your attention and care. As it takes mostly a long time to slowly get your body sick, let's also have the endurance to swing things around. When you feel pain, keep constantly breathing out that pain and focus on the pain area. Quote, "You must embrace pain and burn it as fuel for our journey." Kenyu Miyazawa. End of quote. As soon as the body allows you, start moving, for the body needs to activate the circulation and we need the oxygen to heal the body. When you cannot get out of your bed, do at least your breathing exercises. Dealing with emotions. In regards to dealing with emotions, know that emotions have a direct effect on your heart, lungs and circulation, and positive emotions can have a very positive effect. And the other one, negative emotions can have their effect when you connect your negative emotions to a person or place. The negative effects may be circulating too long in your system and causing lots of health problems. Quote, "The less open your heart to others, the more your heart suffers." Deepak Chopra. End of quote. Do not be too hard on yourself. When you're pointed with negative emotions, ask for forgiveness, apologize, and do not fall again. Accept and embrace all emotions as they are experiences, but you do not need to attach them to anything nor anybody. Quote, "Think about any attachments that are depleting your emotional reserves. Consider letting them go." Oprah Winfrey. End of quote. Too easily you give your power away, even in a positive sense, by even saying, "I feel happy because of this or that." Why giving the power away? Are you not going to be happy when those things and people are not around? Dealing with business. In regards to dealing with your professional life, take short breaks throughout the day and go into the fresh air. Business is also an adventure, and the treasures you seek are not always instant there, but you need to show your endurance and stamina, for those treasures are awaiting in the future. Be caring and loving with your coworkers, and when you need to confront somebody, do it with love underneath. Quote, "You give but little when you give of your possessions. It is when you give of yourself that you truly give." Kahil Gibran. Business is not being hard. Business is not being taking it all too hard at heart. It is also not bypassing the hard and showing how hard and tough you are, as you might end up with heart problems. Be careful not to get attached to your business and realize that all is just momentary gifts in the adventure of life. Quote, "We should give as we would receive, cheerfully, quickly, and without hesitation, for there is no grace in the benefit that sticks to the fingers." Seneca. End of quote. Give your visions direction, but do not get obsessed with specific outcomes. Watch out for creating a love-hate relationship with your business. Just embrace and love it all. Dealing with destructive habits. In regards to dealing with destructive habits and addictions, learn to unconditionally love your past and what you are today, for this is one of the first steps to start your new life away from your destructive habits and conditions. When you do not accept and love yourself now, don't fool yourself by thinking it will be in the future without having even these destructive habits and conditions and addictions. First love, embrace, and accept all now. Otherwise you will not have the endurance to go through your new adventure and implementing many changes. Trust, to keep getting a kiss and a slap with everything, and your trust will never be broken again, and you can go the distance. Trusting and hoping in one side of life only end up in defeat. Go for help when others show you where others show you how to help yourself. Quote, "He helps others most who shows them how to help themselves." A.P. Gauti. End of quote. Dealing with studying. In regards to studying, Connect to loving what you are studying, and loving means embracing the harder times as well, and both result in giving you the endurance to get through it all. So be patient with yourself and keep breathing, and do not get attached to outcomes. This will come as a result, but must not be the aim. Quote, "Endurance is patience concentrated." Thomas Carlyle. End of quote. When you lose touch with these guidelines and your heart is not in it anymore, but just your head, the information will feel cold and analytical and will not circulate well through your being. Dealing with friendships. In regards to friendships, show your endurance to be a friend, for all of you go through turbulent times. Trust that you will get confrontations even with your best friend and embrace them, just as you embraced the other times when you experience the other side of them. Be aware to give your friends space in order to breathe and to be by themselves. Love your friends unconditionally, for whom and for what they are. Quote, "The most I can do for my friend is simply to be his friend. I have no wealth to bestow on him. If he knows that I am happy in loving him, he will want no other reward. Is not friendship divine in this?" Henry David Thoreau. End of quote. Let your friends circulate in all aspects of your life if you wish to do so, and if it is appropriate on your side. Be careful to point with your index finger to your friend, for more fingers are pointing back to you. Give your friends the love from your heart, and do not harden because of certain confrontations. Quote, "Love is all we have, the only way that each can help the other." Euripides. End of quote. Summary. Airatu. Airatu, the guiding force of energy of air. Going in too many directions and wanting too much leaves you breathless and losing heart, resulting in a love-hate relationship with everything and everyone. I am Airatu, representing the energy of air and gases, reminding you to constantly inhale the new and exhale the old. Embrace yourself, others, and all your experiences. Learn to unconditionally love it all. I also represent the endurance in your adventure and guide you in how to give and receive, to trust your book of life, to not lose heart, and warn you for worldly attachments. Summary. Unconditionally love yourself, others, and the world. Love from your physical heart, but even more from the heart of your soul, which is connected to eternal and inexhaustible love. See the beauty in everything and everybody. In and exhale with ease through all life experiences. Stop looking at life as something hard, trying to bypass your heart and hardening in the process. Embrace it all, or you will find yourself closing off and afraid to love and touch and being loved and touched. Love others the way you in essence would want to be loved by them, and do not get involved in the disliking and hating. Learn to deal differently with issues of love and all your attachments connected to them. In order to stay embracing everything and everybody with unconditional love, prepare yourself for the day of how you're going to approach life, others, and situations. And at the end of the day, write down some changes, how you handled things differently by having been exposed to the information about Airatu. Affirmation. I embrace, trust in, and exhale all life's experiences, created in duality. I give without expectations, connect to unconditional love, and keep the doors of my heart open. Petrus.